Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy, and these cute little bottles here are what this video is going to be about. So Colourarte has come out with a fluid acrylic line, and this is the brand new set. So they're called Vivid Intense, and look how cute the little bottles are. So this would be similar to like a golden fluid or Atelier Free Flow. It's going to be a very, very fluid paint. So I'm going to show you the colors. I mixed them up the other day, and I actually used the Nickel Azo Gold in my last video. Super pretty bloom. I'm going to show you the colors, and if time permits, I'm going to try to do a little bloom with them. But I do want to explain them a little bit in case... like if you do blooms and stuff, you're probably super familiar with fluid acrylics, right? Because they're like perfect for blooms. But fluid acrylics are also a good way to use acrylic in resin. So if you want to like tint your resin with a paint color, fluid acrylics are great because they don't have a lot of body. So you can put a drop or two in, and you know, if you're familiar with resin, you shouldn't use more than 10% acrylic paint in resin because it seizes the resin up. It causes it to cure too fast. So like, you know, I like to do geodes, right? So if I wanted to do like a really cool green geode and I wanted to use phthalo green as like a non-sparkly color, instead of using like a resin pigment or paste or something, I can use this. So this would be comparable maybe to like using like a dye in your resin. So I do want to play around with them in resin. Unfortunately, I don't have time to do that tonight. I just put a top coat on a geode. So I'm going to go over the colors with you. The other fun thing, and I can't do all of this in this video, is this set, you can get this set in the 1 ounce or the 4 ounce. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to see it this way. Anyway, this comes with a titanium white and a carbon black. So you can also tint your colors. So let's say, so like I'm more of a phthalo blue than an ultramarine blue person. But let's say I wanted to darken my ultramarine blue. I could put a drop or two of the carbon black in there and get a deep, rich blue. Let's say I wanted to have like a green black. I could put a drop of the carbon in my phthalo green. Let's say I wanted kind of an aqua green that was a little more pastel. I could lighten this with the white. So kind of cool, huh? So anyway, without further ado, because you know this video is going to be really long, so let me just walk you through the colors. There's the titanium white, the carbon black, there's phthalo green, ultramarine blue, quinacridone red, quinacridone magenta, can never have too many of those, green yellow, Nickel Azo Gold, Hansa Yellow Light. I really like this color yellow. It's a nice bright yellow. Diox Violet, Pyrrole Orange, and Cobalt Aqua. So let me tell you a little bit about, so if you know me, I love to use Cobalt Teal from Golden. So this is a tiny smidge different. Beautiful color though. But this is way more reasonably priced than Cobalt Teal. I always tend to gravitate toward the overpriced colors. Go figure. Let me get a little wipe. Be right back. All right, so black and white, I think we all know what those colors look like. So this is, I've mixed these up for blooms. So let me just tell you what I did. All I did was put a couple drops in my untinted house paint, and then sorry, this light's in the way. Then I just added enough Joe Sonia to get the consistency I wanted. Same thing as I would do with a golden or anything else. So I use fluid acrylics for blooms all the time. They're easy peasy to use. So I hope that we're going to try this one out. Okay. This is Ultramarine blue. There you go. Now, if you like to use the Colourarte mediums, you could mix these in Vivid Enamel and then add some Jo Sonja, or use the PrizmPour. Of the two, I think PrizmPour works best for blooms, and then you don't have to add any varnish. So this is the Ultramarine blue. I don't know if we're going to use that one or not tonight. This is the Pyrrole orange. Super, super bright, rich colors. It looks a little more yellow on camera. It's probably the angle of this light. It's a nice, bright orange. And then, just trying to keep clean while I go along. Of course, I'm gonna, of course, love the Cobalt Aqua, as if there was any doubt. Super pretty. And then this one is Quinacridone red. I really like it. It's kind of like a bright, punchy red. Really beautiful color. There is a discount code in the description box, Mandy1120, which will save you a discount on anything you purchase on the Colourarte website. The discount is 15%, and that works for everything, not just this set. So this is the green, or the yellow green, green yellow. Pretty, pretty, pretty. We may, if we have time to do 2 blooms, we may use that one. If you want to check out the Nickel Azo Gold in a bloom, it's in my last video. Don't remember what that video number is right now. This is Phthalo green. Greens and blues are always kind of hard to show on camera. They always kind of tint more blue or more green. I don't know why that is. But this is a really nice phthalo green shade, if you would like my opinion. Maybe you would not like it, but I gave it to you anyway, so. And Quinacridone Magenta is probably a color I use quite often. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the way this color looks over yellow, which is what I hope we're gonna do tonight. And oopsie. Trying to move things. I'm trying to be more neat and not make a colossal, disastrous mess every time I paint. That takes me longer to clean up than the actual painting. All right, and this is the Diox Violet, which again, who doesn't love a Diox purple? Awesome, right? Okay, this one might be a little thick. That's all right. So what I would like us to do is, my paint on my cake spinner is not dry. I covered it up with something and it didn't dry. So I'd like to see if we could at least do one together. I know I typically show you the colors in their own preview because, you know, for people who don't like to watch color previews, I don't want them to be bored, but here we are. I'm doing a lot of schoolwork right now, so my time to crank out videos is a little bit limited. I'm kind of down to the wire on some things, so if I seem absent, I'm not really, but I am trying to be responsible. All right, so I'm going to throw down some pillow paint. Should have gloves on. I don't. And this is Valspar 2000 in Eggshell, so I get this from Lowe's. I do have a mixing tutorial in my description box for, like, if you're in the States, what are some good ingredients. You know, most of us that do blooms don't always use the same thing every time, but it is nice to know what you can get to work, and you know, everybody's different. What I like may not be what everybody likes. So, and you know, I'm no bloom pro. I've been doing this for a minute, but I'm certainly Still kind of new at it. Well, not new, I've been doing it for 2 years, but still practicing like all of you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to use mostly all these colors just so you can see them, and maybe one pigment, because you know, you want a little sparkle in your life. All right. So for this one, we are, I don't know if I am going to use a pigment. Well, we might. We're either potentially going to use Persian Teal or Prussian Violet, or both, but let's see. Let's see. Anyway, I do have all the good things in the description box for you, discounts and stuff. I also use Australian Floetrol in my cell activator, and I buy that from Pixel Paint Designs, and there's a discount code in there for you to save 10%. She ships from the States. In case I do use this, this is Persian Teal, so gorgeous. This is a primary element. And in case I do use this, this is, yikes, Prussian Violet, also a primary element from Colourarte. All right, so Hot Mess Express coming up. Here we go. Let me cover this up. Need to move quick because I need to go take a shower and do some homework. Okay, let's see. For some reason, everything seems like it's way off. Like, I move you forward. I felt like I had to put my tripod way back here, and now everything feels like it's way back here. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with bacon. Okay, so first layer is going to be the Hansa yellow. First puddle. I love yellow underneath other colors. I like for it to pop through. It's always a lot of fun. Yellow. And this is probably too big of a puddle, but I don't care. All right, and then the Quinacridone Magenta. I'm using the Bloom recipe. I am practicing blowing them out myself, so just in case you're new, you know, root for me, but don't expect too much magic. Now I think we're going to do a little bit of this Prussian Violet, just a little drizzle. Well, that wasn't as little of a drizzle as I said, huh? And then we're going to do a little bit of the Cobalt Aqua. When Leslie told me that she was coming up with these, I was like, excellent. I use fluid acrylics for blooms all the time, and they're very smooth. And then this is the Diox Violet. Do we want to add a little of this Persian? Just a little of the Persian Teal for giggles, you know, just a little. All right. Now, any Diox color is always going to want to take over, so in case you're not familiar, even though it's kind of a transparent color, it loves to show off and kind of be the center of attention. And so does a teal, by the way. Not necessarily a cobalt teal because they're more transparent than some, but like an opaque teal, like a golden teal. It's a big time show off. Okay. White cell activator is M-gram titanium white. Sorry that my spinner is so dirty. Hope you guys aren't judging me, but if you are, it's all right. And Australian Floetrol. I don't measure a ton, but I start off with like a 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint ratio, and then I adjust based on consistency. Oh, there's a big bubble in there. This actually feels a little thick, to be honest. So hopefully I don't have challenges. And ideally you want to, feels like my paint's not mixed up in there. You want to basically kind of blow your center and pull your head back as you're blowing to enlarge your little circle a little bit. And then you want to move around and pull your head back as you blow to keep your breath wide. Easier said than done. And my spinner is crooked for some dumb reason today. So uh-oh. Guys, these work great for blooms. Ooh, am I lightheaded? Have mercy. Okay. With the perfect consistency. So far, the cell structure going right across the top is going really well. So let me gain my breath back and I'll clean up the middle. Kind of screwed up in some places, but whatever. I knew they would be beautiful in blooms, and we have just enough sparkle so it won't be boring. Not that it was going to be boring with those bright colors, but okay. So pretty. Let me make sure my camera's not doing that dumb autofocus thing so you can see. Okay. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Let's spin this guy out. Just need to make sure we don't have anything real crazy going on. This right here needs a little bit more. Just breaking the surface tension so those can come through. Woohoo! Way to go, Miss Leslie. These are beautiful. So now you can get some fluid acrylics when you get your sparklies. That's pretty cool. Okay. I was gonna mess with the edges a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to. That was actually a pretty decent blow for me. I said I wasn't gonna mess with the edges, and what am I about to do? About to mess with them. Pretty decent blow for me if I don't say so myself. This part's a little crazy, but woohoo. All right, now let's see here. I'm not going to do too much. Just some places where maybe I didn't do the greatest job, just trying to help it out a little bit. This is actually not bad for me. So let's just spin her out. And we got a little more cell action in the middle. Now I don't have anything covered up over here, of course, so have to be careful as we spin. So this is a little 8-inch. Guys, these are so pretty. Now my cell activator is losing its shape right here, but that could also be how I blew it out, because I did go back over a couple sections. So sometimes if that happens, your paint may be a little bit too thin or a little too glossy, but like right here and all that, we're not having any problems. So again, it could be where I blew it out, because I did kind of pick up edges and go over at least once or twice in an instance. I can't talk. My brain's really fried. Had a long day. And I'm about to have a little bit more taxation on the brain. So this is so pretty. And you see what I mean about the purple taking over? I didn't even put that much purple, not with the pigment or the diox, but it is sure trying. Okay, and I'm having some challenges getting this to cover, because for once I didn't quite use too much paint, which I usually do. So if you have trouble getting it to go over the edge, just get some off your spinner and put it on the very end, and it's just going to help your paint flow a little bit easier. I don't want to tilt too much at this point, because anything that does move may not all move uniformly, and it might cause my cells to be all ugly. You guys, I love it. Now, if I were to do that again, I think I would use a little less purple so you could see more of the aqua. You can still see it. And I would prefer for you to be able to see the way the magenta kind of glides over the yellow. I covered it up too much, so it's hard for you to see the effect of that. You can see it a little bit in the middle, and a little bit right here. So the only part that's a little shaky is this right here, and I'm not sure that I can get that more to the edge without maybe spinning too much. But I think I can live with it, but it's not really moving much more. Let's give it one decent spin, and then I'll show it to you, and we'll try to do one more. Yeah, pretty. Really beautiful, beautiful colors. So this is one of the things I like about, let me see if I can show you without taking off my camera. This is one of the things I like about, ooh, getting a little blurry. Let me bring you down just a second. All right, let me turn my flash back on. So you can see our sparkle up close here, very nice. So one of the things I love about using these colors in a bloom is look, this right here. You see the depth of cells and all the color you get there with those peacock cells. You get the yellow and the magenta and the purple. It's one of my favorite things. So, yes, so pretty. Leslie, you're a rock star. You guys, Colourarte really has some amazing stuff. I use their pigments, their paint, their resin stuff. I mean, come on. Yeah, so what a cute little bloom. How pretty. All right, let me see if we can do another one real quick. All right, one more quick one and then off to shower and study, huh? All right, I really need to clean this crap off my thing. I don't think I can get it off quickly. Nope. All right. Maybe we'll try to like float on top of it. All right. So it's not even either. Oh well. Here we are. Now I can't decide if I want to do a white cell activator again or not. Man, this paint is thick. It's not normally this thick. I mean, it kind of works for keeping your cell structure, but the problem when it's really thick, like, it helps keep your stuff in place, but sometimes it's hard to get the little pillow puddle shallow enough where your paint isn't just like drowning in it. You know what I mean? Because if you have too much pillow under there and you start to blow, it goes just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to maybe use the black in this one. So sometimes if you're using a black cell activator, sometimes a tiny puddle of regular white in your bloom gives you some pretty cool effects. It's been a while since I've done that. And likewise, sometimes if you're using a white cell activator, a little puddle of black gives you some nice black outline in your cells. So thought we might give it a whirl. So I'm gonna do, I don't know which color, and I don't know which pigment I'm gonna use yet either, to be honest. I'm gonna use the Phthalo green. And as a result, I may use, because I haven't used this color yet, and I don't always use a lot of green, so I thought that might be a fun time to incorporate. This is a primary element. What the heck is up with my autofocus? Knock it off. This is Fresh Pine. This is from the most recent primary element set. So let's see if I use that or not. And then I think I'm going to use the green yellow, the ultramarine blue. And I may use the Diox Violet. I may not. And I may use the Cobalt Aqua. And I may not. So, you know, let's see. I'm going to start with the green yellow. And I thought about putting like a fluorescent or like a lime green primary element down with this one. So I brought one over here. Actually, I brought a PrizmPour. I think that, no, that's a primary. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to use it, so it doesn't matter what I brought. So this is the I'm about to say the wrong thing. This is the green yellow, Vivid Intense. We're using a lot of it. And then I put a little bit of this Fresh Pine. Because why not? Then we're going to use a little ultramarine blue. If I had brought some interference green over here, that would have been a good plan, but I didn't. So, and I'm not trying to make this video an hour long. So ultramarine blue. Some of these I mixed a little thin, but here we are. It's all right. And sure did use a lot of that green yellow, huh? And let's see, do we want to throw in some Persian teal? I'm really tempted to use some more Prussian violet or some Diox violet, but the other one was already so purple, so let's not. So this is Persian teal. I'm a big fan of this color. As if that's a big surprise. I like all things teal and aqua. Now we're going to put a little drizzle of the Cobalt Aqua. And then the phthalo green. We're going to use a smidge of black. We're just going to put a little bit, and we're going to more drizzle than anything. I really used quite a bit of the green yellow. Look at me making a mess. Slinging paint is oddly therapeutic. If you haven't tried it, trust me. Okay, let me move some stuff out of the danger zone. We're gonna do a little bit of the black. And I have, like, because of the way I was putting on paint, just getting some bubble action. This is way too much paint for this size bloom, by the way. So it's one of those, do as I say, not as I show you. Okay. This will give us a little added drama in our bloom. All right. Let's make one quick mess, and then I'm going to clean this stuff up, take a shower, study. Okay. White cell activator. This thing's trying to get away from me. Can you guys still see? My camera loves to autofocus at like the worst possible times. Okay. All right. This is very thick. I don't know how it got so thick. So if your cell activator is a little thick, obviously you can add a little Aussie Floetrol to it. And you got to stir it really good though. But that is definitely too thick. Thankfully this paint is very easy to work with so far. At least it was on the last one. So I'm just going to let it sink just a smidge because it's so thick. And now let's see. Oops. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm getting better. Watched Lisa Marvin enough times to see like her tilt her head to the side. I'm not great, so I can tell you, I know in theory what I should do. But when I tilt my head to the side, I find that I like twist my mouth sideways and narrow my blow instead of like directing my breath down and just moving my head, not my mouth. Isn't that crazy how much we do things without thinking, even though it's counterintuitive to what we're trying to do? It's so annoying. Anyway, thank you, Lisa, for always showing people the tips. Because watching Watching her is very helpful. Okay. You know, sometimes even though I've taken the course and I learned a ton from taking the course, sometimes in the practical application, it takes time to get your brain to do all the things you're trying to get it to do. All right, I want to deal with this. Uh-oh. That wasn't the best effort. Okay, so this was a pretty decent blow for me. Is it perfect? Of course not. But now my cell activator is a little thick and I have a little bit too much in the middle, so I'm just trying to break up the surface tension to see if anything will come through. What I don't want is this to be a solid wobbly river of cell activator as it dries, because it can warp the center. But unfortunately, there's a lot there. So there's still some places that are kind of fingerling-ish and kind of narrow, but I have enough paint here where it's probably not going to be a big deal. But look at that phthalo green. Is that not pretty? And I think the pigment choice I made was a smart one, because it's a nice green. It's, you know, we have the nice like lime green in the middle. And then we have kind of a complementary green. And it's separated far enough from the phthalo green where it doesn't kind of, it's not so like too much green in one place kind of a deal. And the ultramarine blue gives us a nice little accent. So let's see. All right, let's spin it out. We're not going to get very much action in the center, I don't think. Unfortunately. But as it spins out, who knows? Gentle at first. As we spin, I'm cleaning up. So efficient. I'm like a multitasker to a fault, if you don't know that. One thing that's kind of funny about me is I pay attention better if I'm doing more than one thing. It's like it helps me manage my distracted brain. I know that's probably plenty of other people, not just me, but this is still driving me a little crazy. Let's just keep going. Let's not get too distracted from our mission. Our mission of spinning and being done to do homework. Now, that center is giving me a little OCD with this weird cell. There's probably some black under there, but unless it comes through, it just looks weird. And now if it comes through, it's probably going to look weirder. This is a pretty little bloom. And see, our little accent of black is giving us a nice little pop of color. Except I have this bubble. But this is a pretty little guy. So you guys know that I like to swipe with blue black when I do negative space swipes and stuff from Atelier. Well, I bought the green black. I thought that would be fun. I have the red black, but it's brown basically, and I like that too. But I thought the green black would be fun. especially when it gets all those cool like ghost cells it gets when it interacts with the pillow paint. Oh, now the center is opening up. I don't know. You can kind of see it when it's spinning, but these cells are getting bigger. And some of this is calming down a little bit, but we are getting a little bit of, I forgot what this is called, but basically the Floetrol is trying to travel into that paint because the cell activator is thinner than these paints. So that's why so much of the bloom is like a science experiment, you know? So people get frustrated with it. It's so hard, and you know, it is hard. But so much goes into it, you know, like your ingredients, temperature, your blow, your paints, you know, if you're having a good painting day or not, like it's all legit. Okay, so I really love this one. So I'm gonna bring you down for a close-up, and this video is probably already really long. So thanks for hanging out. I'll bring you down. Look how pretty it is. Okay, so you see why just a little black is kind of nice. You see the little bit of drama it added, just a little pop of color. I think my favorite part is right here. But first of all, I love phthalo green, like a lot. And I love how just the little pop of color of the ultramarine blue gave it a little bit of blue, but it didn't take over. And I love how the yellow green is kind of in the background peeking through. And that fresh pine color was a perfect pigment color to use. So yeah, you guys have to let me know what you think. I'm super excited about these. So yeah, let me know what you think, and don't forget to check the description box.